Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody watched my update today. It was very, I think, informative. I just want to come here real quick and show you the small time frames. I'm going to start here with XLM. What do you see? What do you see? We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's a strong impulse to the upside. That's a very possible sign that the bottom could be in, at least locally, right? So, if we start to overlap into this breakdown area right here, that's going to be a good sign. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see this come up a little bit more. We get 5 waves. And then the idea would be like, okay, we got 5, so let's come down and get 3. And if we can get 3, this would be a really good opportunity to go long. Not just for XLM, but across the board, right? But if this comes down impulsively, right, then we might have to wait a little bit here, because we could still make one slightly lower low and get that bullish divergence on the microstructure. But yeah, so far so good. We got 5 waves, which is exactly what we wanted to see. How about XRP? I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks okay. But Bitcoin is the one I really wanted to show here. Now, Bitcoin, what do you see? Well, it looks like we got 1, 2. It looks like we got 3, 4. And then it looks like we got 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, it's still corrective, right? This is just the microstructure. It's still very corrective. I mean, you can see we only have 3 in here, right? I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I really wanted to see 5 on the first wave up, but, I'll take it for now. So we got 5. And what is going on here? Is this some kind of B wave, right? Because that was a pretty big drop from what was that right there at the top of this wick to the bottom of this wick? That's about a $1,200 move to the downside on the 5-minute chart. And then we came back up in 3, and it kind of looks like, an inverse head and shoulders, but on the small time frame it's not really that clear. So to me it kind of looks like A, B, C. So we have a 3-wave move right here. So this could be A, or this could be the start of a move to the downside. For example, if we get something like this would be A, B, C, right? That would be a good spot to buy the dip. So, just real quick, we got 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, let's get C, and if we come down here, right, in a 3-wave shape, right, we get bullish divergence, we have positive momentum, right? This could be a good spot, right? Maybe even on a pullback here on that first wave, either here or here, I would look for a potential buy the dip. Now, where is it going to be exactly? It's hard to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually came all the way back down and back tested these lows down in here, right? That's typically what happens when you have a big dump to the downside. Then you have this rally, right? Sometimes the rally can get more complex, right? And then it becomes a 3rd wave. But if you start overlapping in here, that reduces the probability of us having to come down for another microwave low. Because on the higher time frames, I think, the low has got a very good chance at being in. I mean, we have a hammer candle here on the 3-day, and we also have a 9. We have a 9 buy on Bitcoin right now. So on the 3-day, so we still got to wait for the candle to close, right? So what I like about this 9 is it's perfected. Number 1, it's an orderly fashion. Number 2, number 3, the 8 was sort of that ending and then you have the 9 sort of trading slightly below, but then you also have the bullish hammer. And then where is the 9 coming from? Is it coming on a second wave? Is it coming on the third wave? No, it's coming from a 5 wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the end of the day, right, we got bullish divergence on the daily chart right there. It's not too strong on the daily, but it's there. Actually, the weekly hidden bullish divergence is actually very strong. So just understand that. And then also, right, where's the 3-day 9 also coming? It's also coming right here at the low, right? So it actually broke the low. Remember, when you break a low, that's where liquidity lies, right? The market makers have tons of money, so they need their orders filled, and they need their orders liquidated, or not liquidated, but selling or whatever. They need liquidity, right? And how do they get it? They got to break areas where retail looks at as the danger zone, right? So most retail, I would imagine, is thinking, okay, we just broke below our little range here, right? Here's the top of the range, 2 lines, and then 2 lines on the bottom. So they're looking at that thinking, okay, we just broke the range to the downside, so now I'm going to sell. But why would you sell now, right? You just got 5 waves, you got hidden bullish divergence. If you are going to play that strategy, that's fine, but at least wait for a 3-wave pullback, right? Because nothing goes down in a straight line, right? Wait for a little bit of a pullback here, and then go short, and then play it and see how that works out for you. It might work out well, right? Because we could still come down and revisit this 49K, 50K area right in here. So somewhere in that zone is still a potential, right? And then when I look at that potential on the micro structure, let me go to the hourly here. You can see, right, that could be a potential play here where we have, one moment, we have 1, 2, all of this is 3, right? This is 4. Maybe 4 is not finished yet. Maybe 4 has to come back and do something else, and then we get 5. 4 would be there, 5 would be there. So something like that, right? And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 4 goes like this, and then it comes back down for 5, right? And that would be the big buy area, right? Now, for me, I'm dollar cost averaging. Actually, yesterday I dollar cost averaged into Theta and XRP and CRV. I wanted ADA as well, but I didn't get it. So anyway, that's kind of where my thought is. Now, when I bought that dip, I had the intention and the knowing, right? And also for the trades, but talking about the hodl position, when I bought yesterday, I have full, I went in there with, the understanding that this could be a 4th wave and we still need the 5th wave, right? But under the circumstance that this is the bottom, then I would have felt foolish if I didn't buy. So that's why it's called averaging. You don't know exactly where it's going to land, so you average out your entries. So I averaged here. I'm going to wait and see how this progresses. And if we get a 5th wave down, then I'm going to average down in here. And I'm probably going to go a lot heavier and deeper right in here, right? So then, at that point, we can get even, some bullish divergence on the microstructure. So you can see, right, the 1 hour got into oversold territory. We bounce to the upside, bounce to the upside. So if we come down and make another low, and we come down and we make a higher low, we're going to have bullish divergence here again on the micro, right? Because again, we already have it on the bigger time frames. So when I look at the 4-hour chart, there's a potential for one more wave down, right? So we'll see how that plays. And if we don't get another wave to the downside, then at the minimum, I believe we're still going to come down and retest these lows, right? So I wouldn't be buying now, guys. Don't buy now, right? That's another reason I'm coming out with this video as well, is not financial advice. I could be wrong, but I would not buy right now. Why? Because you should have bought yesterday, number one, but also this could be a dead cat, right? And then also you can see how we're going down sharp and then we come up sharp. Now look at this candle. That's a doji, right? So we're going up and then we get a doji. That means that, you know, it could probably come back down. If you're going to buy the dip, I would wait until we get to that yellow box, you know, anywhere between really 55.5 to 54.5. I would think that would be a much better entry, and not just for Bitcoin, but if I look at, you know, let's say Theta here, right? Theta as well has a doji candle, and it's coming up on a 4-hour close, coming up within the next hour. So this has to come down, right? So if this comes down, we could come back up like this. So it'll be a 3-wave shape, right? And that's what I'm expecting here. Now, if this pulls back a little bit and we get a sharp impulse and then another pullback and then another sharp impulse, now that's going to be a 5-wave move. And that's going to be really, really looking good here. And then what I would wait for is let it go. Like, don't FOMO, let it develop. Let the 1, let the 2, let the 3, let the 4, let the 5 go, right? Wait for the A, wait for the B, wait for the C. That's where I would get in right here, right? If the bottom is already in. Now, again, this could still be a micro 4th wave, right? So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we still need 5. And then if I turn the RSI on, you can see we are like literally super oversold. I don't think we've been this oversold on the 4-hour. Let's see, let me put a horizontal line there so we know exactly where it's at. Right about there. So that's the 12. Now let me try to expand this. Okay, and now I'm going to look over here. And let's see when the last time we got that oversold. Wow, I mean, we're all the way in 2023. So all of 2023 never got that oversold. All of 2024 never got that oversold. Let's see 2022. Still, wow, this is crazy. We came pretty close here, right? We came pretty close here in 2022. Wow, look at this. I'm continuing to go back in time, and I cannot think of one time Theta has been more drastically oversold on the 4-hour chart than I think in history. Let's see. Let's keep going and see. Yep, that's the end of the chart. So there you go, guys. Honestly, didn't know I was going to be surprised as much as you were, but honestly, let me take this off here. Okay, so that's, I think, yeah, I don't have how much data back there. Okay, so let me get rid of that. And let me go back. Let's go to the 8-hour chart. So this chart goes all the way back to 2019, so basically 2018. And again, the RSI has not been oversold even during COVID. Look, guys, the 4-hour RSI, right? This is actually the 8-hour. Where is the 8-hour at, by the way? Okay, it's still healthy. It's not, yeah, it's still okay. But look at the 4-hour. I think that is the most oversold it's ever been. Let me go back to C19 and see. I think I was just over there. So that was in 2020. Okay, yeah, right here. So where's the RSI at? Yeah, so so think about it this. C19, remember this big, huge crash where everything dumped and oil went actually negative, I think, during that time? Well, look, we dropped massively. This was a huge dump to the downside. I mean, just from this high down to here was about 75% or so. And the RSI didn't even, it got to about 17.16, but the RSI on the 4-hour chart got all the way down to 12. So the RSI on the 4-hour chart on Theta is the most oversold it's ever been in the history of Theta. So when I'm looking at that, and rightfully so, look at all these red candles. That is pretty rare to see that. Like red, 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 red. And it's just so much, right? So that's why I was, staring at the charts like a hawk yesterday, and I managed to get in at $1.18. So I'm happy with where I got in. There's my entry right there, $1.18. So far so good. Also XRP, I really wanted 37. I couldn't get it. I got 39. Still pretty decent. And then CRV, wasn't so good, but hey, I think it'll pay off later on. So, but anyways, we had the most oversold conditions on the 4-hour in Theta's history. So that, I think, is a pretty decent signal that the bottom is close, or if this is a third wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we still need 5, right? And that 5-wave move is actually ending the 5-wave move of what? Of this move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that 5-wave move is ending what? The 5-wave move of the whole structure, which is what? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we might need one more 5. So it would be the 5th of the 5th of the 5th. So that would, and then, add to that the bullish divergence on Bitcoin on the weekly chart, right? And then also add to that, the 4-hour being the most oversold. So this thing might be a truncated 5th. It might come down. If this thing bounces up enough, it might come down and make a higher low, right? And if we start doing something like this, then it's going to kind of look like a bear flag, and then I would expect one more low like that, right? So it really depends how the structure is shaping out. Do we have a 5-wave impulse? Do we have a triangle? Do we have an inverse head and shoulders? Do we have an ascending triangle? Do we have... there's a lot of different things that could play, right? So we'll just wait and see how that forms. But if you survive this crash, you're already in a rare breed of people who hold crypto, and really you got to have the conviction. If these crashes scare you, then you don't have full confidence in your investment. That's what I'll say. If you're trading, obviously that's a little bit different here. But if this is, and also too, if you look at this as 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe we get 4, and then we come down and get 5, right? We make a slightly lower low, about $1.05 or so. And that would be a good spot to consider adding to the position. So anyways, I just wanted to come out and say real quick, let me go back to Theta real quick. On the microstructure, let's say the 10-minute chart. I don't like that chart. This one here. Okay, so the microstructure on Theta is actually still bearish, right? It doesn't look like Bitcoin where we have 5 waves. So we have 1, 2, 3, kind of looks a little bearish. I want to see 4 and then 5. If we can get that, that would be nice. And then get an ABC, that would be a spot to consider buying. I wouldn't buy now. I would wait for a 5th wave, and then I would wait for a 3-wave pullback. So You know, we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Anything else on the small time frame? Some of them look pretty bullish getting out of there. Let's see what the DXY did. You know, it's interesting because the DXY seems to be dumping, right? So we have the DXY dumping, but we also have Bitcoin dumping. So that's a little bit interesting. So Bitcoin is actually also on the chart here, you know, so so there's definitely some divergence here between Bitcoin and the dollar, right? So you know, the dollar is actually right on the bull market support band. So, you know, hopefully we can lose that, and we'll revisit that. Let's see. You know, coins like Filecoin, again, you know, they look like we got a solid 5 waves here, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in the 5th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe one more little low, or at least a double bottom in here. If we make a double bottom, that would actually be very bullish. So look at the 4-hour chart on Filecoin on the RSI. It actually was very, very oversold, right? So you know, this is the time where, you know, you kind of separate yourself from the herd, you know, because the herd is what? Running away. You kind of want to do the opposite of what they're doing. And if they're selling, then yes, of course, the selling can continue. But you have to know we're coming to a point where we should get a reversal. And I think that is already starting, at least on the bigger time frames. And on the microstructure, again, we might need one more small wave to the downside. So I could be wrong. This thing could be getting ready to cascade even further down. But again, you know, all the technicals are saying, no, we most likely need a bounce here. You know, a lot of times you have these events, these liquidation events, you have the, you know, and then also I didn't even know what was going on, right, with regards with Bitcoin. But apparently you have the Mt. Gox fiasco. Remember that? I remember that way back in the day, where Mt. Gox sort of was doing some shady stuff. But whatever, they, you know, they locked up the Bitcoin, and now they have the Bitcoin. So now they're distributing that Bitcoin, right? But then you also have, I guess, Germany. Like, who would have thought? Like, really? Germany? They're selling Bitcoin? I didn't even know they owned Bitcoin, really. But I guess supposedly that's the narrative of why this is happening. There's always a narrative that goes along with it. But our narrative has always been, right, has always been what? You know, before they even sold, has always been 5 waves, right? So you get the worst news at the 5th wave. You get all of this news coming down here. And then all of a sudden, now people want to sell, right? But the problem with that is, you know, the downside potential is a lot less than the upside potential, given that, you know, we've been falling for, you know, since May, right? So how long have we been trending to the downside? I'll even start it here. So we've been falling for about 30 days or so, just consistently going down, down, down for a whole month, right? And that month is June, and typically June is a bearish month for crypto anyway. So CRV, I wanted to talk about CRV real quick. I mean, this thing also came back down to the low. It's the same kind of thing of what's going on right now. So you know how the market took a dump, but now it's coming back up, right? But then what happens after it's finished going back up? It comes all the way back down to the low. So when we look at things like, for example, ADA, right, you can see how it had the bounce, right? So maybe it comes up a little higher, whatever, but eventually it's going to come all the way back down to the low. And then the question is, do we get a double bottom, or do we break the low with bullish divergence, right? So it's kind of the same thing, and not just ADA, but, you know, Theta as well, right? if we come down, you know, that example I just shared, where's another example at? Let's see here. Right here. Here's a good example. So you can see how the price is going down, 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 and then it had that final flush, right? And then what happened? And then the price skyrocketed to the upside. Everybody got bullish, but, you know, we said, wait, wait, wait. It has to come back down to revisit the low, and that's what it did. So it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row not breaking this low. So basically we had a double bottom here. So that's what I want to see for Theta, right? I want to see this thing maybe come up and finish and then come back down and have a bottom and a double bottom and then kind of go sideways a little bit and then take off. That would be nice. That would be a 1-2, right? So we'll see how that plays. But let me go back to CRV here real quick. And that's exactly what happened on CRV on a different time frame, but you can see something similar to that where, you know, we had this area right here, and what happened, right? We broke all the way down, right? And then we came all the way back up to this zone, and then we came all the way back down. So then what did Theta do afterwards? It kind of went sideways, and then it started going back up, right? So that's what I want to see here for CRV as well. Now, I don't know if this coin's going to be a success or if it's going to be a failure, but the downside potential versus the upside potential has got me interested. That's why I've been talking about it lately. You can kind of see this channel here. We broke to the downside. There's a lot of liquidity there. And then also we have an A, we have a B, and then we have, or actually a WXY. So 3, 3, and then 3. So we have a 3-wave move here, right? And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the end of that wave. And we're basically at all-time new lows. Like, this is the lowest that it's ever been. So could it go lower? Yes, it's a lot more risky, depending on, you know, how you look at it. But yeah, so I want to see that low get held in there. But other than that, I think that is it. Solana, you know, Solana, Ethereum, and a few others like Chainlink, they really look like they need more downside. When I look at Theta, when I look at like Bitcoin and you know, XRP, they kind of look like they're almost finished up. But when I look at like Solana, it looks like it still needs to do this. Like, it needs to finish that 3-wave move here. Now, could this be rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation? Yes, it could. Solana might not need to break the low. It might just need to go into reaccumulation and then break out. So that is yet to be determined. Let's see, anything else? XLM had a pretty strong bounce, like I was saying earlier. It actually tagged this area up here. So yeah, and it does look like a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully we get a little bit more for 5. Get a 3-wave pullback. That's where I would maybe long it there. So Bitcoin still chugging along here. So that's about it. Let me go to the monthly chart. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. We had a monthly candle that ended. And we also had a 3-month candle that ended. And we had a 2-month candle that ended. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened. You know, we had all these candles close. First of all, this month just got started, and look how big it is. That's a good thing, guys. We want it for a monthly candle, just like how I say, if there's going to be a lot of bullish stuff going on, you know, towards the end of the week, we want bearishness in the beginning of the week, right? That's why I say when we pump on Mondays and Tuesdays, I don't like it, because usually we dump when it counts, which is when the weekly close. We want a strong weekly close, which means we need to dump in the early part of the week and pump, like dump Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then pump Thursday, Friday. That's like the best case. So in this instance, the monthly candle just started, right? July, it's what, July 5th. So the month just started 5 days ago, and look how big the candle is. It's already as big as all of these candles, which have been trading for 30 days plus, right? So what that means is when the month of July closes, this could close as a bullish hammer candle, right? So we might have a big long wick here. That would be nice to see. So we'll keep an eye on this monthly candle here. Could it be just getting started? Yeah, it could go down a lot more. I mean, there's actually no support on the monthly until you hit right all of these closes right in here. So around that 40-50K, right? And then you have obviously this one down here. Yeah, let's look at the 2-month candle, because that just closed as well. The 2-month candle is my least favorite chart because of the dojis up here, right? These dojis are scary because they can mean a big reversal coming, right? Now, there's no evidence to suggest that yet, but we'll have to see. Like, for example, this came down, right? And then you had 2 dojis, but then look what happened. You came up and you took the high, right? You took the low. So here's 2 dojis. Maybe we come down and then we come up and take the high, right? So if we come up and take the high, that's probably the end of the wave. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. The 3-month candle, let's look at that. Now the 3-month candle also ended. Now the problem with it is it just started, by the way, but it's trading below this candle here. And what we want is for, obviously, this is the all-time high right here. So I'm going to drag that across. I'm going to put it right about there. So you can see this candle, the green candle, job was to break out, which it did. Bullish engulfing candle. This candle's job was to come back down and back test the top of these closes, in which it did. This candle's job is to continue to hold that, or maybe, the very least the very worst, I should say, come down and retest the closes of these candles around 45, 50K. But again, the 3-month candle just started, so it's not going to end until July, August, September. So September 30th, right? October 1st, it should be, it will be finished. So let's see if we can get a bullish hammer candle on this candle here. So that's about it there. And then we also, guys, I forgot about this. We also have a 6-month candle close, right? So we had a 1-month, a 2-month, a 3-month, and a 6-month candle, all close at the exact same time, right? So that's probably, why we had such quick, sudden price movement, is because all those candles closed, which basically validated whatever people were looking at, and had that drop, right? So the 6-month chart, actually, I can move that back over here, right? So the top of this is about 45K. So it seems like that 45, 50K area is very significant, right? So I wouldn't expect it to go in a straight line, but we could have this candle could wick down and retest the close here. And then the following candle, right, can start trading above it. So we'll see how that plays out there. You can see the 3-month candle on Theta, right, back testing its breakout level. XRP 6-month candle, again, I think this is some kind of reaccumulation phase, right? We had a a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. Now we're going sideways. This could be a 1. This could be a 2. Let's get 3, 4, and 5. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, I think that'll do it for now. I just wanted to pop in and try to make more of a shorter version of today's video. So, but if definitely would go back and watch that first video I put out. But anyways, that'll do it for now. I will catch you guys on the next one. Please hit that like button if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I think crypto is going to get even more crazy. You think it's crazy now, it's probably going to get even more crazy. So definitely don't want to miss these important updates, right? Because sometimes when you get a 5-wave move and a 3-wave pullback, you got one chance to execute that, whatever you're trying to do. And having that heads up is always a nice thing to have, or at least take it into consideration. Obviously it's not financial advice, but anyways, hit that subscribe so you don't miss it. I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.